Spartan boys basketball coach Doug Newton with us here. Coach, you turned a real close game early on into kind of a lopsided game there with a big run. What'd you do well late in the first quarter into the second quarter?
Well, we got the ball out and ran pretty well, I thought, and got several transition baskets early and got a lot of different guys involved. And then once they did get us in the half-court set, we thought we could do some things with the Paulson kid inside, and that's what we did. Jake's a pretty strong kid, and put the ball in the basket several times early. He finished with 13, 11 in the first quarter, I think they said, and that kind of set things up on the inside. And they kind of had to help a little bit, and we got some good looks there. And we ran some plays we've been working on, and got us some pretty good looks. And I just thought defensively too, we tipped several passes and got some steals and just kind of started on the defensive end, I guess, so to speak.
Well, and you'd said going in, getting off to a good start would be key, and I think you were up by 18 pretty early second quarter.
Yeah, we just kind of thought, they're a nice team. They got a nice little high-low thing with the Winthrop boys in there, and that Holsey kid, the freshman, comes in there, and he's very offensive-minded. And we thought, if we allowed them to stay close and maybe a couple of those guys hit a shot or two and get some confidence, that maybe we might have to deal with them a little bit towards the end of the game. And sometimes you get down towards the end of the game, and the ball doesn't bounce your way.
But Brady Hanson really provided a spark. He had 19 off the bench.
Yeah, most of those breaks were. The breaks we got early, a lot of those started with steals by him and down on the back of the 2-3 zone, and he got it out there, and most of the time went ahead and started and finished it both. So hit a big three there late in the third quarter that we just were kind of limping along there a little bit, and they kind of closed it a little, and he hit a big three right there in front of our student section. I just thought that was a big one. It kind of took a little air out of their sails, and it was a big one, I thought.
I know you've talked about putting 4 quarters together. Is this pretty close to a complete game from your team?
Yeah, not too bad. Their record's very deceiving. They got some good kids that can play, and Coach Fogelman does a nice job down there. Works hard at it, and we thought there, in the second quarter, then in the third quarter too, they both had some small runs, and we kind of felt like maybe we kind of dealt with their best shot at that point in time anyway, and still weathered the storm. Still had a pretty sizable lead, and we could kind of take care of everything and finished it from there. But
we talked about Brady Hanson had the big game off the bench, and then Jake Paulson, he did most of his damage early. He had 13 points, 11 in the first quarter.
Yeah, if Jake can get in there, he's a pretty strong kid, and he once he gets in there on the basket and he knows what to do with it, he goes straight up with it pretty well. A lot of times, the second half, they just limited his touches quite a bit too, and he really didn't get it maybe where he would be too successful with it. And he didn't try to make things out of nothing either. He'd kick it back out, which is, we talk about that. We do a lot of that in practice, and don't try to make something out of nothing. And he just didn't feel comfortable where he was at, so he kicked it back out. And I think most of those times we still got a good shot somewhere out of the deal, rather than try to force something over the 6'5" Winthrop kid or 6'6". He's a big kid, long.
Coach, fun talking to you. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks for the coverage.